Hey, what's up you guys? So in today's video I'm going to be doing the second part to the Instagram series I started last week, and this is your feed ideas. Now there's literally no video that I've ever seen that actually addresses this issue, and I feel like it's so important because how your feed looks is the most important part. I'm going to try and make this as short and as simple as possible. I'm going to be doing some pop-ups on the side over here, just so you know what I'm talking about, because it's kind of hard to explain. So let's just jump right into this video. I want to address the first type of way you can do your feed, and this is the most common way. This is using the same filter or same 3 filters throughout your entire feed to make all your photos look the same. Now this is the best idea. A lot of people do it. All the people I follow do this way, and the best way to do this, I find that no one understands this. Anyone can just go take a photo, put the filter on and post it. There's a little bit more of a thought process that goes on when these famous people are doing these feeds, and it's sort of like spacing your selfies out. So I'm just going to use Kelsey Simone for example. She does a sort of formula. You could create your own formula, but I don't suggest doing it. It's just so stressful to do it, and people start to see the kind of pattern, and then it's just not going to look and be as nice as you'd expect it. So when I say a formula, I'm just going to tell you what I mean by that. So it's when a person posts a selfie, and then there's going to be a sort of filler photo, and that filler photo can be anything with a lot of space around that photo. So maybe one of those quotes that a lot of people use, or an object placed in the center of something. So maybe like a teacup on white bed sheets and there's a lot of space around it. That's another kind of filler photo. Then they'll have a food photo next, and then they'll have an outfit photo, and then they'll have a building. Therefore it's not all selfie, 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 or building, 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 building. It's more like different. So you need to kind of look at the different dimensions in the photos you are taking. Space it out with something busy, something a little bit more minimal, something in between, and all of that. So don't have 2 minimal photos next to each other, and don't have 2 medium photos next to each other, and don't have 2 in-your-face photos next to each other, because obviously it's not going to work. So that is the biggest tip I have for you if you're going to do a filtered theme, because that's the best way it's going to work. And that's why so many people keep restarting their feeds and everything, is because that filter just, it's not looking right, and that is the reason. It's because you're not spacing out your photos. I get asked that a lot, like, why is it not looking as good as everyone else's or something? And it's just because you're not spacing your photos out, and you're not looking at them at the dimension they have and everything else. So if you have any questions about that, please comment down below, because I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but I really am trying. So the second way you can create a feed is by doing diagonals. Now I'm currently in the process of doing diagonals for my feed. I'm doing the diagonals in black and white, so I'll use an example of my feed over here. So the kind of example I have is that I'm doing white photos, and then I'm breaking the photos up with a black and white diagonal here, and then it's going to go in a kind of zigzagged form. So that's one way to do it. Obviously the photos in diagonal don't need to be black and white. The other way of doing it is having colorful photos and then putting very white photos in between, or doing blue and red, and having blue photos and then red and then blue, and the red going in the zigzag. So that's one way, is the zigzag. The other way of the diagonal is just going, you're changing it up every diagonal. It's an all yellow theme, and it has yellow objects here, but then it has like the photo of the girl in the center and all around. So it's a diagonal, and that's what you can carry on doing. It's one way to do it. The next way of doing it is just going diagonal of blue photos, diagonal of red, diagonal of orange, so on and so forth. So you can even do a diagonal of different filters. For example, like you'll use like this one filter and then you'll change to the other filter, but then they need to look slightly different, obviously. So you'll have like, for example, C2 from Visco in comparison to like P5, and you're gonna get that different contrast going all the way up. That's another way of doing it. Doing tiles, this is also a common way that people have found out recently. Now this is sort of like a checkerboard theme, so they alternate black and white photos with colorful photos, or they'll alternate quotes with normal photos, or they'll do an alternation of blue and pink photos. That's just one way of doing a tile, and that's such an easy way to do it, and it really looks so good. Line by line, there's a whole bunch of ways you can do this. You can always do a line of selfies, and then a line of your coffee that morning, and then a line of food you ate, a line of buildings, or you can do a line of black and white color, or obviously, as I said, blue, pink, red, so on. You could do a whole rainbow going up and then repeat the rainbow, or you could probably do a line of normal photos, a line of quotes, a line of normal photos, a line of quotes. You can change the objects, you can change, yeah, there's just a whole bunch of ways. You just really need to be creative about it. The fifth way of doing it is literally following the lines of Instagram. So literally going straight down the sides and down the middle. So either doing quotes straight down the middle, or black and white photos straight down the middle, or doing 2 lines of black and white photos. So this is when you'll post, for example, a bunch of red photos. Now when I say red photos, I'm not meaning you change the whole hue of the photo to make it look red. I'm meaning like it contains a red object in it throughout the whole thing. So you'll do red and then gradually go into like orange, and then gradually go into yellow, or you can even just pick 3 colors and gradually make them go into each other and repeat the process. That's the other way of doing it. Now this is a very common one, but again, when you include borders, this doesn't really just make a theme. I find I still think you need to try and incorporate one of the other steps that I've just said above, like with the checkered and the tile, well, like with the tile, or with the rainbow, or with the straight down the middle and the sides, or the linear, but with borders. So that's another way. But I say if you're going to do borders, as long as you do the borders with something else as well, it's gonna help you a lot. The other way you can do this is banner photos. That was quite popular a while ago, and I don't know, but it still is. That's when you make a photo blown up and post it in 9 squares, for example, so that the photo fits in the 9 squares and it looks like a big banner when you go into your feed. Although I think it looks really good and it can look amazing, it can just be very irritating for your followers to have to like 9 photos of yours as you post them throughout the day, because you can't just post like a corner and it probably doesn't even make any sense. Like people will be like, what? So you have to post all 9 at once, otherwise, yeah. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you have any questions, please comment down below. I know this is quite confusing and everything. I hope I explained it well so that it isn't confusing, but if you do, even DM me, like if you don't want to comment down below and have everyone see your question and you think it's stupid. Although I do recommend that you comment down below, because it'll help the next person who's thinking the same thing. So I'll see you guys next week for the next video. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share this video, help your friends, or if you're gonna be a creepy little person and keep all these videos to yourself because you're like, no one must know my secrets kind of person, then you can do that too. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you next week.